joining us on this very special occasion. This new crown heralds a new era for the Miss Universe organization, which is now under the new ownership and vision of Kun Ann Jacapong and her company JKN Global. Since she acquired the organization, we have all witnessed positive changes. She clearly has the business acumen, the transformational leadership, and the sensitivity to elevate the organization and the impact it can make globally. This is only the beginning of the journey, and a lot more is to come. A big round of applause for It's a pleasure, Kun Ann, being a friend of yours as well, and I admire the courage, and we're all very inspired by you making that acquisition, and to your commitment and vision of really wanting to make that impact. So thank you. The House of Mouawad has been crafting the extraordinary since 1890. That's 135 years. We're a family business that is now guarded by the 4th and 5th generation, with myself being part of the 4th. Mouawad is grateful for the association it shares with the Miss Universe organization. Before this new crown, we had the pleasure of crafting 6 Miss Universe crowns for various branches of the organization. The power of unity for the global competition, which Arnaz has won. Congratulations, Arnaz. The power of positivity for Miss USA, and the power of hope for Miss Teen USA. And 3 crowns to date for the Miss Universe Thailand organization. The House of Mouawad is known for crafting the extraordinary, with a meaningful story behind each of its creations. The crowns we craft embody the values of the Miss Universe organization and carry a message with the intention of inspiring others to make a positive change for a better self and a better world. This year, the name of the crown was thoughtfully conceived as Force for Good. Its title and story are designed to encourage women to use their voices to advocate for causes close to their heart, so they can drive a positive change in the world. Simply put, it's a call to inspire everyone to take action and create momentum in pursuing the cause for good. The Miss Universe organization is not only the world's premier beauty pageant, but it's also a powerful platform that amplifies the voice of each delegate by giving them a broad and receptive global audience of over 600 million fans. It's a celebration not only of beauty, but of intelligence, of culture, and impact. Through this platform, each delegate has the power to share their cause, engage, and inspire their audience. The potential social impact is truly exponential. The Force for Good crown was designed to symbolize the dynamics at play when taking action to bring about any fundamental change. It represents 3 key messages. The first one is that change is hard, and the message requires repetition. This is symbolized by the rippling wave motifs you see on the screen, which represent the need for any call for change to be repeated at high frequency, across time, and to various audiences. It is the accumulation of these waves that builds the momentum that's necessary for change to emerge. And the ultimate goal of change for good is represented by 45.14 carats, royal blue sapphire, that is pushed by the waves to stand high and victorious at the peak of the crown, as you can see on the screen. The second message is that change rarely happens quickly. It's often a very slow process that requires persistence and a sustained effort. It typically happens gradually over time. To represent this, the base of the crown is set in white diamonds to symbolize the status quo. Then, as our eyes move upwards from the base, and as change begins to emerge, the white color changes to a light blue, and then it increases in intensity all the way towards the royal blue at the top.
Later they will come.
And the royal blue color of the sapphire at the very top is meant to symbolize goodness and hope for a brighter future. The third message is that change seldom happens without resistance. There will always be stakeholders with a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. To symbolize the forces that try to stop change, that try to pull it down, the abstract motifs at the base of the crown represent the serpent's head. These serpents are set in white diamonds to demonstrate they thrive under present conditions, and their intent is to maintain the status. The serpents are, however, minority compared to the rippling waves at the top, and that imagery symbolizes that ultimately they are overpowered by the force for good. We hope you will not only appreciate this crown for being beautifully designed, crafted, and encrusted in rare gems, but we hope its message will resonate with you. We also hope it will inspire all the delegates to continue advocating for causes, existing or new ones, one or many causes, and to continue using their beauty, intelligence, and culture to make a positive impact on society and be an authentic force for good that inspires the world. A good example of these traits is Arnaz. Arnaz, congratulations again on winning. And thank you all for being here. Let's now watch a video about the crown.
The gravitational forces of possibilities, drivers, actions, positive change, goodness, and a brighter future. The Mouawad Miss Universe Crown 2022 originated with bees as its inspiration. Gems are set in rippling wave motifs that reflect the need for any call for change to be repeated across time and to various audiences in order to build the momentum necessary for this change to emerge. The ultimate goal of change for good is represented by 45.14 karat royal blue sapphire that stands victorious at the peak of the crown. In contrast, reflecting the point that significant change does not happen in an instant, but only after a sustained effort over time. The base of the crown is set with diamonds symbolizing the status quo. As the eye moves upward from the base, the color gradient changes from the glistening white of diamonds to the warm blue of sapphires, deepening in intensity towards the pinnacle of the crown, where the deep royal blue color of the ultimate sapphire symbolizes goodness and hope for a brighter future. The crown also reminds us that there is seldom change without resistance. Stakeholders with a vested interest in maintaining the status quo will try to prevent change, represented by abstract motifs emulating serpent heads around the base. These are outnumbered and dominated by the rippling waves of life, as ultimately the force for good emerges victorious.
The Mouawad Miss Universe Force for Good crown is a work of extraordinary craftsmanship, featuring 110 carats of blue sapphires and 48 carats of white diamonds, in a design that evokes the organization's belief in a future forged by women who push the limits of what's possible and the incredible women from around the world who advocate for positive change.
A new crown for a new era. The Mouawad Miss Universe Crown for 2022 carries a powerful message that in change lies the force for good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Fred. Please give a big round of applause to Fred Mouawad. Fantastic job. Thank you so much, Amy and Paula. Thank you so much, Anas. You've been wonderful. In 4-5 days, you're going to go back home now. We're going to miss you so much. Please give the round of applause to both of them. Really, Paula, done such a great job. So welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Every one of you very delighted, I am here to be part of Unveiling the Crown event. Today, what you see here is the most expensive crown ever, almost 6 million US. Are you excited? Most expensive. So I just feel so privileged here that this year, make sure she's gonna wear the blue gown. Maybe. You cannot have pink and blue at the same time, no? So you have to make sure that blue match with the blue, yeah? So Miss Universe year 2022 False for Good Crown, I say this all the time, that we are in the evolution process. We are welcoming you to the new paradigm of women's empowerment platform. The global platform, in fact, Pause for Good, come from the inspiration that we did talk together with Mouawad, which has a history of more than 135 years now. Unbelievable, almost G5 or generation 5. G4, you just saw the CEO and also the owner, Mr. Fred, been talking about the crown and the concept. It's just so very touching and impressive here, because we turn pain into power. That is the philosophy of this year. Force for Good is a personality or transformational leadership that we would love to have from the winner, from the title holder. Therefore, just translate or articulate so well into the crowd, the message, I mean. Therefore, when you see the title holder, the winner this year, when she wears the crown, when she has the crown, it would remind her of having the responsibility or having the obligation, I would say, being the iconic woman that people the whole world can look up to. Having the inspiration that no one can bring you down. You really have to be strong, independent, and also you need to be beautifully confident. We're stepping into the era of the women's empowerment platform, the Miss Universe, not just being the beauty pageants competition anymore, but we would love to become, or we are actually, #1 beauty Olympics in the world. Really we are. In terms of having the platform, raising up the voice for the voiceless, or the women on the stage, they are the representatives of their own countries. This is such an inspirational moment that once we have the crowd over them, or over one person, I don't know how many years we're going to use Force for Good, but for me,
yes,
I would love to have Force for Good forever, because it's
invitation.
really resonant with the message that I'm talking about, turning pain into power or having the transformational leadership here. Our ambition here is to instill the sense of passion for transformational leadership among us all, with a firm belief, really firm belief that everyone can lead to be successful and can achieve the life goal. So thank you so much for coming here today. The next session here, we're going to have all the beautiful women, more than 84, 85 countries, coming to see the crowd themselves. It's going to be first time for them to see, because the only person who can see really closely is on Saturday. Yeah, the winner. The rest of them, they can have a glimpse today, and one person will get the crowd back home. Otherwise, I said that make sure when you go back home, you don't get the crowd, you get the richest one instead. Thank you so much. Mr. Fred, thank you so much. It's my privilege working with you. You're such a great gentleman, really, responsible, and also you exhibit yourself being the great leader. So having the leadership from you and also the responsibility from you in terms of designing the Force for Good Crown, such a big honor to our organization. Our 71st birthday here, or the celebration here with Mouawad is really perfect. Thank you, everyone. And let's celebrate the winner on Saturday with the new crown. Bye-bye.
Now we're going to welcome up the president of the Miss Universe organization, Paula Sugar.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm shorter than everybody else. Seeing the video of the artistry, and I know what the name Mouawad means. I know the history, and I loved, Fred, it's the first time I ever heard you introduced as the co-guardian of the Mouawad legacy. And that to me, it says it all. Then to go in and see the artistry and the design that went into this crown and the meaning behind it, that is what Mouawad means. And being here as someone who has been with the Miss Universe organization and the legacy that the Miss Universe brand and the name represents, I was seeing how everything comes together. Thinking about a crown. A crown is a symbol. A crown is something that symbolizes the woman that is going to be wearing it. What does she represent? We've talked a lot lately about heavy is the head that wears the crown throughout the year. There are the symbols, the symbolism of what the Force for Good and all the young women that she represents, the woman that will represent and wear that crown, represents the organization, represents all of the other women that she's on that stage with, and hopefully will become a voice for the voiceless. I am so proud of the Force for Good crown because the future is forged by women, will be forged by women, and this crown is a beautiful representation of the Miss Universe legacy. And I hope the Miss Universe legacy will make the Mouawad legacy proud. And we are so appreciative of this partnership and the next chapter now with our new owner in Queen Anne. And we are all so excited, Queen Anne, of all the possibilities and the big change ahead. So I know that you are a force for good, and we are happy to be on this journey with you. So thank you very much.
And now we're going to take just a pre-submitted. Thank you all for getting those into us. Mr. Fred Mouawad will be answering these. Is it known at this time how many Miss Universe title holders will wear the Force for Good crown?
Thank you for the question. What I appreciate about the Miss Universe organization is that it's adaptive. It is aiming to stay relevant. So whether we will have the same crown or a new crown next year or the year after, I think is not decided today. But what is clear is that the message of Force for Good is here to stay. Whether the crown changes or not is a decision that we have to make. But the intent and the mission remains unchanged. And I believe the organization has an unwavering commitment towards these values.
And what is taken into consideration when designing a crown for a modern woman whose life has to be practical and versatile?
What we consider when we design a crown is the aesthetic aspect of it. We obviously follow certain universal standards to make sure that it has the right elements, that it's balanced, that it's elegant. So there's one component that's about the aesthetics, and the other one is about the story. And that is really what is unique about the Force for Good. We try to integrate the story into the design. And that's what we showed you today, that there were 3 elements that tell you the whole story of what it requires to create change. It is hard, you have to repeat the message over and over. It is something that does not happen quickly. You need to be persistent. And finally, you will always face people that are going to resist that change. And so that's the story that we're trying to showcase into our crown.
Thank you. That concludes our event. Anybody who's sitting in the second 2 rows, follow me. We're going to go to the photo op now. Thank you all for coming.
So guys, we're now on the main stage, the stage of Miss Universe 2022 or the 71st edition. Oh, the delegates are starting to come in for their photo op.
Unveiling the crown. First, I want to say that you're all winners. You're all winners. You won. You're delegates of your countries, and everyone is very proud of all of you. So, big round of applause for the achievements you've made being on the stage. The crown is called Force for Good, and you can all be a force for good, not only during that journey, but also after that journey, and throughout your lifetime. You are given that opportunity. So I'd like to invite Kun Ann Jacapong, who's a good friend, a great leader, to come on stage.
Thank you so much. How are you, everyone? Good. You did amazing job last night. Thank you. I love it. I love it so much. My goodness heaven. So the message here, transformational leadership. We are not making just a beauty competition, but we having or building up the new paradigm of global women's empowerment platform. This is the platform that for once you have the leadership, which is the main message for this platform, you need to be the iconic woman. When you go back home, or when you become the title holder, that the whole world, people, every one of them can look up to. Therefore, we have Force for Good, and this is the most expensive crown ever in Miss Universe history. After 71 years, this crown is almost 6 million US. So you're about to see. Who wants to crown, please?
Kuya.
Who wants to be Miss Universe? Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much.
Do we make the pictures now?
We have
Thank
Paula.
you.
Please, Paula.
Sorry guys, I'm shaking. I don't have a steady cam with me. I'm holding my phone. I'm holding my tripod on my other hand.